welcome back to Jem and Cozy. Today I'm going to be doing some junk journal spreads with you guys that are simple and fun and a great way to dip your toes into a creative spread without getting overwhelmed. Let's get started on this first one. I just got some happy mail from Happy Olive Studio and I really wanted to use this adorable pink envelope as a part of the design. I'm thinking of making this into a single page spread rather than a 2-page spread because I think it's going to be a lot to have on 2 spreads. This first design is a movie popcorn page, so I'm gonna make it on this side and I'm using this little pink paper as the bucket basically of the bottom of a big bag of popcorn. So the idea behind this is to draw some little popcorn designs. What we're gonna do is just draw fun little squiggly, cloudy looking popcorns that are big enough for you to write a title of a movie or a TV show in. So I'm gonna do a few in yellow. No, I actually think I want all of them in like shades of yellow and orange now that I think about it. So this is basically a fun way to do some tracking for movies or shows that you've been interested in watching. You could do it in 2 different ways. You can either fill them in advance as a way for you to track movies that you've wanted to watch and use it like a bucket list, or you can use it like a tracker where you write down the movies or shows that you've watched over the summer or around this recent time, if that makes sense. So you can do it in 2 different ways. I think it really just depends. I think some people like tracking things more than other people, and this is just a fun and sweet way of recollecting all the things that you've watched recently. So I'm gonna write movies up here with a little brush pen that I'm working with. Instead of going for a classic white and red striped popcorn basket thingy, I'm gonna do pinks because I wanted to use this envelope, and we're all about trying to recycle some fun art supplies. And I also have this kind of hot pink marker, and I thought it would be perfect for this. I'm gonna fill in a few for balance. I have to be in the right mood to watch movies, so I like to rotate between movies and TV shows depending on how much energy and time I feel like I have, especially in the evening, because sometimes you want to watch a certain movie, but then it's already like 9 o'clock or something, and you're like, do I want to be watching TV until like closer to midnight, So that's kind of how I guess go with it. So I want to write TV shows somewhere here too, but then I think it might look a little cluttered, so I might use it for movies and TV shows, but just write movies up here, unless I make it like an arch, movies and TV shows. I wonder if that'll fit. I might ruin this. Movies and okay, that doesn't look bad. I might have made the and a little bit too small. Movies and TV shows. And then I'm gonna outline this little scalloped border that I created to make it a little bit more of a contrast, a little bit bolder. I wonder if I should outline the stripes a little bit. Just a few little lines to add some dimension to it. I made most of my popcorn on the rounder side. I tried to make the little shapes a little bit like uneven, but you have to remember to leave enough space to have writing room, so just make sure that you don't make your popcorn too small. I definitely like the yellow highlights. I feel like it really makes things look more visible, and the only reason I'm not coloring them in is because I don't want to use a pen or marker that's gonna be hard to write on top of. So I might fill these in with a yellow colored pencil maybe after I write in them. That way it won't be as hard to write on if I color them in first. And after I looked up some little popcorn images, I noticed the bag has a little sign that says popcorn. So I think I'm gonna write popcorn down here and draw a little circle just to emulate that design a little bit more. And you guys can get creative and cut out papers or print out little things. I like to just work with what I have for the most part, especially because this is more like a scrappy junk journal for me. But roll with your inspiration and do what you think would look the best for your style and preference. Popcorn. Yay! Okay, popcorn. That looks a little bit more put together. My boyfriend and I just started Yellow Jackets. It's about a group of teenage girls who are in a soccer team who get on a flight to head to regionals, and something goes wrong with their plane and they crash in the middle of nowhere, and they're stranded there for a year and a half, and a bunch of weird, crazy things happen while you're trying to survive out there. Some of it is kind of like psychological, it's kind of thrillery, so it does get a little bit scary at times, especially if you're watching it at night. But it's a really fascinating story so far because you kind of get to see what happens to the characters after they get out of the area that they're stranded in. And they film it in a way where it's kind of going back and forth between past and present, so you're sort of connecting all the dots and seeing what happened to everyone. A lot of people recommended it, so I finally got around to watching it. I also watched Final Destination recently, and I've never seen any of them. So I always see that reference from people about the wood, the tree trunks in the back of like a truck. I always see videos and memes about that. So I knew it was about Final Destination, but I didn't know what the storyline was about. So I recently watched that, and it was interesting. My boyfriend said it's very classic to how like all the other Final Destinations are filmed, so I think the franchise follows a very specific style of script and storytelling. So I was like, okay, I see the point, like I see the flow and the way like they cinematically wanted to do it. It's kind of comical, but it's also very gory, so I watched that. And I guess I'll think about some other things I want to fill in. Maybe I should put down one or two things that I want to watch. Oh, I really want to watch Uptown Girls again. I've been seeing clips of it and I haven't seen it in a really long time, so I think I want to rewatch that. And I also wanted to watch Lilo and Stitch. I haven't seen that in such a long time, and since the new version came out, it's been on my mind to revisit the old one. I watched this movie so much in middle school. If you guys have any recommendations for movies or TV shows, new or old, any genre, let me know so I can fill it in here. So this spread is all done. The next idea that I have is a little bit specific to a washi tape collection. I know not everyone uses these, but I feel like a lot of journaling crafty people do. So I wanted to share this spread because it is so cute. I've seen a lot of versions of it, but my favorite kind is the washi tape hanger collection, and then also like a little tag on a wire line, almost like their little towels drying out. So I'm gonna do both on this spread just to give you guys ideas. They're so freaking cute and it's a fun pop of color. I don't think that you need washi tape to do it. You can also save or cut up other little pieces of colorful trash or paper, cardstock, anything you have to make this work. I'll just show you what it looks like with washi tape. So let's do the little clothesline concept. It's so freaking darling. I'm gonna use a nice bold black pen, and you can either draw like little, what looks like a little clothespin, or even like a little ribbon. You can kind of rotate between both. I think it's supposed to look sort of messy and sketchy, which makes it easier to commit to, in my opinion, because if it's too much work at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna want to do it. So I feel like this is the best case scenario. So I drew that line, and then now is the fun part. We're gonna grab some of the colorful washi tape or paper, whatever you have, and you're gonna just cut a little strip off and make the edge straight. Usually I just tear it off for that messy look, but in this case you want it to be a little bit clean so that it looks more like a rectangle. So I think it makes it look like a little hand towel or something drying, which I think is so cute. So let's use some of these other pieces. You can make them all different lengths to make the experience feel a little bit more mismatched, unbalanced. And I think this is a great way for you to save a little piece of your washi tape and look back on it, because eventually you're gonna run out. Let me put that one here. Ooh, I want the watermelon in it, so let's cut on a slant and go like that. That's cute. And then you can kind of like make them float in different directions and make it so that it looks like they're kind of blowing in the wind if you want. There we go. Luckily, washi tape is a low tack tape, so they're very easy to relocate. I got this Minnie Mouse washi tape from Japan. So cute. I was so happy to find this, and this is actually perfect because I always feel kind of sad when washi tape runs out. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna ever see this design again, which is why you have to use things so that you can actually enjoy the experience and then look back on it and be like, oh yeah, this is when I had this supply. This one is a Beauty and the Beast themed tape that my bestie got me from Disney. I think she was at, it might have been Disney in Tokyo. I think it was on her family trip. So you can see Beauty and the Beast on there. And now you can outline them to make it kind of pop more, or you can leave it alone. I've seen it done in a few different ways. Some people also like to make them look like banners, so you can make the edges in like the W shape, if that makes sense, so that it looks like a cut ribbon. You can do it however you want, and you can just do a simple trace. I'm adding a little space around it so that it looks like it's almost framed. This definitely makes it pop more. And while I outline all of these, I'm gonna give you guys some other ideas that I've seen and sort of describe them to you all so that you can pick a style that you like. You can do this concept with little stamp silhouettes. You can also do it like a picture frame board. So imagine one of those really busy walls that are full of framed art. You could do that with washi tape or little photos from your life and sort of just combine all those elements for a really busy and colorful collage of washi tape and little images. Ooh, this paint pen. Okay, let me do one that's like uneven. Oh my gosh. Okay, and I think for this one I will do a combination of the hanger, since why not? And then you can have little pins and they can hold photos or, you know, whatever. Ooh, I should have done the tape before drawing that one. I got ahead of myself, but you guys get the idea. The hanger one is sort of like, it's a washi tape wardrobe essentially. I think that's really cute. Very nice. Do a little bit of green, and then you can make them almost the same length or slightly different length. This actually reminds me of a little tie rack. They look like little neckties. My bow one can hang out right here, and I'll make that one short. And I'm thinking if I can fit one more on the side, that would be really cute. I'm gonna put that one right there. How fun! Super cute. So I think you guys get the general premise now that I've shown. Oh my gosh, my video. I think my phone stopped recording, so I don't know if you guys got to see me draw that, but you can just reference some photos, no big deal. And now we're gonna use some tape. The paint is coming out of the roller, so I recommend using bold colors, and I recommend using thin strips because you can add more color to it. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'll do this one, and since I didn't use this one on this side, I can put a strip right here. Cute. It's gonna keep adding to the paint roller. I want some of them to be really long, and I've seen some really awesome ones where people make them super long and have them cut into the opposite page, which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna do a long strip. Fun. I like the thin strips for this paint roller look better, but you can always make the paint roller really big and keep your washi tape the same length, same size. So fun. This pumpkin one matches perfectly, so I'm gonna stick it out with my fall vibes. Okay. So some people like to draw like paintbrushes and several paint rollers and sort of just have pops of color everywhere. I don't have enough washi tape to do that, but I still wanted to show you guys what this would look like if you put it on a part of a page. I think it would be really fun because you can add writing or the rest of your spread down here and then put like a little title up here. So I think that's what I'm personally going to do with this. I'll pop some other ideas here so that you can get creative. Alrighty, thanks so much for hanging out with me and making these spreads. I had so much fun trying out these ideas. I usually just do a lot of gluing and writing, so doing something a little bit more structured like this was really fun and crafty. If you guys decide to make a similar spread, feel free to tag me at Jem and Cozy. I'd love to see your creations. Here's what the final movies and TV show popcorn spread looks like right now. I had to add K-pop Demon Hunters, and the washi tape collection page is probably going to take some time to fill out. Let me know if you want to see more journaling content, and I'll see you guys next time.